What's up, Internet? It's Loren here with 8-Bit Tom. And
Hi, everyone.
I was all excited to do this podcast, but now I have a cat in my lap, so
I am
have a
really
good day.
excited about this. And that is a tabby cat, so I guess we're not doing this today.
No, it's done. Cat in my lap.
Our favorite Nintendo 64 games, whether you bought it, you rented it, you played it at a friend's place, you played it a bunch, or you just played it one time and it's super memorable. These are going to be our favorite 5 and 64 games with, I'm sure, one honorable mention.
I did, and yep.
Me too, and I'm sure it will piss off everyone again.
Yeah, like, why not?
As is tradition.
Let's just get on that right now. I
Sure.
do not have a Zelda. Sorry.
Neither do I.
It's Hall of Fame. Again, there's no point in talking about it if it's going to be on every single top 5 list. So let's just skip it. Let's move on.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because Super Mario 64 was on my list. I'm like, I can't put that on there.
I mean, you can, absolutely. It's a phenomenal game. Like, it's going to be in everybody's top 5, though. So
It's one of the top 3 selling games. Well, it's a pack-in game, and it was one of the top 3 selling games for N64.
it was. I spent many hours on it.
But anyway, let's go with your first honorable mention.
My first honorable mention is by Treasure. Came out in October 1997. It's called,
Of course, Treasure.
It's called Mischief Makers. It's anybody that played kind of that Gunstar Hero or Alien Soldier. You know their platforming
Genesis
controls
titles.
are disgustingly tight. Treasure just knows what they're doing, and this game was no exception. It was it's kind of a platformer, but it has like puzzle elements, and it's just like the controls are unreal. I can talk about them all day, but I'm not going to. I had to include it on my list somewhere, so it's getting honorable mention.
Okay, honorable mention.
Here we go already.
So that's
the
your honorable
one.
mention. That's
Yes.
I rented it once. I never rented it again. It was too difficult for me, but maybe that's why Loren likes it. He likes difficult games normally.
I tolerate them. I don't know if I love them.
So I have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay, like we're breaking the rules right off the bat. Okay.
Okay, so the first one I'm just going to touch base really quick. It's NBA In the Zone 2000.
In the Zone.
Yeah.
Huh.
Not a lot of people like that one.
That's not the one I would pick as your game, you know?
I really
it would
like.
be Alive or a Jam, but
I really liked it because of the dunks you could do, the alley-oops, and it kind of felt like a THQ game on a basketball court.
okay. Yep.
And the controls were really good, and you could play 4 players, N64, right? Anyway, my actual honorable mention is Star Fox 64.
Okay.
I love that game. I remember playing this game just recently with my girlfriend Sam, and our first scores sucked. They were like 400 or 700 or not even, you know? And then eventually we just kept getting good at the game, and I think now we're like, if we're not close to 2,000, we're easily over that. And it's just like such a good game. It's a rail shooter, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's what it is. And there's just so much to talk about this game, but we don't have enough time. It was released in June 30th of 1997. It was made in-house by Nintendo. And
E80?
what's that?
E80?
Yeah.
Entertainment Analysis Division
Yeah.
or whatever.
And the composer, Koji Kondo, is just awesome. Like,
Yes.
I love the soundtrack to this game.
Yes.
It's so memorable, and whenever I think Star Fox music, I think this one, or Corneria on Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that's or like the re-release on the Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah, absolutely,
All
that one's.
Yeah.
Those ones are good. But
I'm with
I really like that game. Produced and designed by Shigeru Miyamoto, the general manager at the time.
Yep. Phenomenal game.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna hear about it soon.
My 5th favorite N64 game is GoldenEye 007. Just
I
like.
think we're gonna have to shotgun a beer here today.
Oh no.
We're already 2 for 2.
Oh my god. So this game, been the right age at the right time to really appreciate this game. This game was the first on so many levels. This game was basically a polished and updated and upgraded version of Quake and Duke Nukem and Doom. They took all 3 of those games, they put it in this, but at first it was just going to be like a rail shooter. And last minute they were just testing it in development, and they realized just how fun it was. So they're like, don't make this a rail shooter. Like, you need to make this like
We have to expand it.
freeform maps, right? and it's just the levels are awesome. The music, holy crap, man! Like
The pause music
like it's
is out of control. Everybody's seen all those TikToks going out right like recently where
and it came out August 25th of 97. When did the 64 come out again?
I want to say late 95 or 96.
So like it's like the second year in.
No, 96. It was 96.
So second year in, they put this game out. 8 million copies sold.
Yeah.
Like third place behind Mario 64 and Mario Kart.
But like, yeah, licensed to print money games, right?
Just absolutely insane. Rare knocked it out of the park, man. And the composers, Graham Norgate and Grant and Robin Beanland, like they were all involved with like good games like Mortal Kombat 4, Killer Instinct, Gold, Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong 64. Like they know how to make music, and it shows in this game, man.
2 of those games I had to desperately like. I wish this list could be 8 games long because Perfect Dark and Killer Instinct would have been
Killer Instinct
very
is
close
good.
to making that
Ultra
list.
Combo.
Love it.
Fulgor.
My 5th favorite game was 1080 Snowboarding.
Oh, I love that one too.
Also made by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So this one came out April '98. Honestly, it was close to 2 decades later that I finally got a snowboarding game that gave me the feeling of this one, and that was Steep.
Did you snowboard back in the day?
I did.
Oh, so this was like ultimate cool for you.
Oh, it was. Everything about this game is way ahead of its time. Like there was 5 characters in the game, but there's like 3 hidden ones.
The penguin suit?
The penguin, and then was it the crystal guy?
I think so. Crystal snowboard, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Then there was
The half pipe at the end, dude, where you could just like do a bunch of moves. Dude,
Yeah.
awesome.
I've pulled off the 1080 once in my life because you had to do like the circle and the circle with the right button and the circle with the right button and the Z, like the Z trigger
the
in the
combination.
back. We're Canadian, yes. So then you had like easy, medium, hard, or whatever. Easy, normal, hard, and it was like 4 tracks, 5 tracks, and 6 tracks.
And the
All
fact that they have
6
2
tracks.
players on it.
So cool.
Yeah.
Like the dragon cave. Like that was so cool. Then the what's the one? Crystal Lake,
Yeah.
I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
I have nothing but great things to say about it. And then like you could use different boards. And then there was trick mode, but nobody gave a shit about trick mode. It was all about match race because that was how you got everything unlocked in the game, right? So
That's awesome.
my number 4
Yeah.
was your honorable mention, Star Fox 64.
What an
So-
awesome game.
It was actually a reboot
Oh, yeah.
of the Super Nintendo one. So they
Remake.
had this opportunity, even though Argonaut were legendary, like pioneers in how much they could get done with a Super Nintendo cartridge. And the whole reason they had to put the FX, like Super FX chip in it, was because they were just better developers than anyone available at the time. And when they had the opportunity to rebuild the game with much better hardware, they jumped at it. So Star Fox 64 was essentially a reboot.
Yeah.
So you
100%.
get the same thing, you get the branching paths, but now you've got, instead of you have do a barrel roll. So the voice acting is like cheesy, Nintendo cheesy, but iconic.
I
wouldn't
like the
have it
voice acting in
I
Nintendo
wouldn't have
64.
it any other
Yeah,
way.
me neither, man. Yeah, keep it the way it is. Leave it alone.
Yeah, so there's nothing else to say about that. You covered
Perfect.
it.
It was perfect.
That was my number 4.
My number 4 is 1998 Nagano Olympics.
I knew it.
Really?
So have you had an Olympic game in every list so far?
Nope.
Pretty close.
Published and developed by Konami. Like that's why this game is so addictive and easy to play.
People that made track and field and track and field too.
So they know what they're doing, right? They've been doing it for a while. It was released January 10 of 1998. If you had 4 buddies and one of you had this game, dude, you got snowboarding, you got skiing, you can do freestyle. Like it has everything, man.
Yep.
Luge, you can fucking do bobsled. Like
I was just gonna say bobsled.
dude, just there's nothing else to say about this game. If you haven't checked out Nagano Olympics 98, go check it out. Winter Olympics.
Okay.
Mic dropped.
That's I think that's 3 different lists where you or I have had like a track and field or Olympic game on it.
Yeah. It's because they're fun things to play with your buddies, and that's what you wanted to do back in the day.
Yeah, pick up and play too. They're
Yeah.
like immediate quicks, right?
Super easy controls.
That was your number 4, right?
It sure was.
What's your number 3?
Oh, man. So my number 3 is Gauntlet Legends.
That's fair.
August 31st, 1998, published by Atari and Midway. Awesome game. Again, 4 players.
Excellent game. It's a fairy.
Yeah, you can be a wizard, you can be your barbarian, or the mage, or whatever. Yeah. And you just go around all these levels, you kill where the enemies spawn, kill the enemies, there's a boss at the end, then there's a huge dragon you fight at the end of each level or planet, whatever you want to call it. And then eventually, like, you know, it's an RPG. Like, you go around, hack and slash, you level up, you get more health, get more energy, and it's just every time you open that door, every time.
Yeah.
It's just
that's a solid one too.
Really good game.
I'm noticing a trend with your list too, that there's a fair amount of 4-player activity on there, which
because that's what I did back then
what
with
the
the
N64 was
N64.
beautiful for.
How about you? What is your number 3?
My number 3 is finally a third-party game. Besides
Really?
Treasure, yeah. It's from Konami.
Oh,
April
nice.
98.
April 98?
April 98. It is Mystical Ninja starring Goemon.
Oh, that is a good game.
So I wanted something, like, I wasn't going to put Super Mario 64 on the list. And here's the hate mail. I don't like Banjo.
yeah, I'm a.
It's just a collector.
I rented it a
right?
couple
It's-
times.
Everybody
owned
calls
it,
it the
but,
greatest 3D platformer. I just don't get it. But Mystical Ninja, back in the Super Nintendo, that Mystical Ninja game,
Yeah.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja, is so fun.
Yeah.
It's like that 2-player Zelda style, stupid fun mixed in with like side-scrolling action. Right, this one just took it 3D, and it's just as ridiculous.
Yep.
It's
Easy
dumb.
to play.
Yeah, just goofy, I
Yeah.
guess would be the best way to do it. So yeah, it was just because of my love of the Super Nintendo one that I knew I was going to play this, right? But the soundtrack is banging in it.
It is. It's addictive.
They crushed this game. So, and yeah, I couldn't say Banjo, so that's it. That's my number 3. My number 2, I'm going to cheat.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say 2.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually going to say 3.
Holy shit.
Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, because I
Okay,
cannot
that's fair.
pick one.
Dude, those are so much fun. I can't believe
These
none of those made my list,
Are
man.
stupid games, and I don't care.
Yeah,
Because I play,
they're addictive.
like, everyone loves these, like, or at least will tolerate these games, right? Like, your girlfriend will play it. You know,
100%.
I had my grandpa play it. Just once. But he was like 82 at the time, and I don't even want to go there. It's stupid hobby. Okay, so everybody fought over Yoshi.
I never fought for
or
Yoshi.
Or DK. No, everyone.
Oh, come on.
Everybody's
really?
girlfriend wants Yoshi.
Oh, because he's cute.
Yeah, Yoshi, right?
Yeah,
But
okay.
I was a Luigi guy.
Luigi.
Yeah, just
Wow, 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 wow.
because nobody wants him. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to fight. You know, like everybody would jockey their controllers, like as soon as you can to try to pick your character.
Mario, where are you?
That's just what, right? Everybody would jump to DK or like in the later ones like Wario and
I would always pick Wario.
yeah,
It's an awesome series of games.
yes, and then like Minigame Island and like dual mode and like 3. It's like we could talk about them forever.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're stupid, dude. Like probably that's what sold it to me on the commercial. Yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay, my number 2, and this should come as to no surprise to anyone, is NHL 99.
Okay.
This
Oh, I know you're first.
I don't think we'll see about that. So developed and published by EA, September 10, 1998. Awesome game. Like, there's nothing not to like about this.
No.
If you wanted to play hockey, you were playing this one because NHL Breakaway 98 was so broken and it was terrible because they released that game for Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and whatnot. And then the same year, they just kind of half-started Breakaway. And it was a terrible fucking game.
Yeah.
But Breakaway 98 is a terrible game, so we would play NHL 99. You can play up to 4 players stuff. And just, you know, the Phillies are in the playoffs. I think they won that year.
You nailed it.
Was it Acclaim?
Acclaim, but it was developed by Iguana on the N64.
Terrible.
Sculptured software on the PlayStation. And that too, like,
Well, on the PlayStation,
everybody shit on NHL 99 on N64 because it didn't have that intro video.
Oh yeah, and it also didn't look as nice as the PlayStation and computer variants. But
Right.
But this one was so much fun. Like, we played hours of this, and you could play all on the same team if you wanted. It could be out of control, right? Anyway, NHL 99, awesome. That's my number 2.
Your number 1, sir. Say it. Say it.
WCW versus NWO World Tour. It's just such a damn good game. Like, you can take me away from the game, but you can't take the game away from me. Damn it. It's still real to me.
Done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Easy, man.
Dude, December 2nd, 1997. Such a good game. 1.3 million copies sold. They made this game like it was a... they approached it as like a fighting style game, and they added grapples around it. That's why, like, you have your...
That's why it works.
Light attacks, medium attacks, strong attacks. Same thing for grapples. You can dive outside of the ring. You can do turnbuckle moves. You can do apron moves. You can grab weapons out of the crowd. There's so many firsts for this. They released Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, I believe, 15 days later. Yeah, 15 days later. And the difference is that the composer Hideki Mitsui just gave it a bit more polished sound and some new tracks for it. It was published by THQ, which was the dominant force of wrestling games at the time.
Yeah.
In 1998 and whatnot, paired with Asmik and Aki, they were one of the greatest wrestling game manufacturers of the time. They made the SmackDown series. They sold 1 million... They had $1 million budget for this game. Like, they had a lot of money to spend on this game, and it shows, because you have all the wrestlers you want. You can do your WCW versus NWO on your TV against your 4 buddies, because that's where you're watching at the time.
Yep.
And you're like, I want to see these two kill these 2 guys there. It's just such a versatile game. The Japanese variant has all your Japanese wrestlers and your North American wrestlers in it, so you have a bigger roster. So if you never played Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, please try it out, because it's just like a bigger version of World Tour. But for my number 1, it has to be WCW versus NWO World Tour. That's the game that I probably spent the most amount of hours out of, I think, any game period in my video game life ever.
You could do Royal Rumble in it, right?
Oh yeah.
And you could actually set all the players to computer.
You could, yeah.
So my buddy, they still do their NFL draft order by playing and they just they put all their guys into a battle royale, and then whoever is the last one in the ring wins, and they get first pick.
That's hilarious.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, legendary game. Any wrestling game fan, pretty likely that's their number 1 on the list.
100%.
Like that, or like the SmackDown era, right? Like those are the ones.
Those were the successor of these games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number 1
Let's hear it.
was your number 5?
Really?
Yeah. So my number 1 on here, no question. We played GoldenEye more than any other game on the N64.
Yeah. That
we
reaches
played
up there for me.
4-player more than any other game on the N64.
Ditto.
I absolutely sacrificed and stressed and frustrated myself learning how to play this game with 2 controllers.
Well, you know what this means, don't you?
Yeah, that means we have to shotgun a beer. Because I think we had 3. 2 or 3 similar games on this list. But either way, the way that I learned how to play first-person shooters was pretty much from this game, and the only thing that made me move on was Half-Life, which came out like a year later. If it wasn't for GoldenEye, I probably wouldn't even like first-person shooters, because I didn't really love Doom. I didn't love, like, Quake was pretty good, but it was just so fast-paced and kind of left me behind. Well, that was fun for 7:45 in the morning.
Oh, I'm getting old.
That was a bad idea.
It was a terrible idea.
It wasn't that bad an idea.
Well, I
Okay,
guess
questions. You
when
have questions about
yes.
GoldenEye.
So, being a big avid fan myself,
Yes.
you know that they re-released this game with on the Xbox, right?
Yes, and the Switch.
I actually have difficulties playing GoldenEye on an Xbox controller compared to the N64 variant because I'm so used to the N64 layout.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
the N64 Online expansion pass thing. Of course, I downloaded GoldenEye, and I suck at it now. Like the controls are absolute ass.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
go back to it.
What is your favorite multiplayer level?
Oh, what was it? The Stack?
Stack? Yeah, that's a level.
But there's also, was it Temple? Because there's one spot you could chuck it and actually go through the floor, so it could get a guy in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, how about Facility?
Facility is always going to be like.
Yeah. Like the best. Complex is probably my second favorite one. What was your favorite weapon?
My favorite weapon is always going to be remote mines because it was just evil. Like, I loved it.
I actually like.
And then like running them into the trap, sticking your head out, and then they would chase you down to shoot you, and you just get them in the hallway. I always had fun with that.
That Clob was such a piece of shit, eh?
It was named after Ken Lobb. Eh?
Yeah.
So he insisted that, if I read it right, he insisted that they name the gun after him, so they made it purposely shitty.
Yeah.
Because he was, I want something named after me, so. Well, that's a pretty solid N64 list. I would sit down and play damn near all of them.
Yeah, same. I think if all these games were in front of me, I don't know which one I'd play first.
This is actually the first list where I really struggled to keep it to 6. Like, I desperately wanted to put Wave Race on there somewhere, but...
Yeah, that's a good one.
I just recently refinished it, too. But, yeah, gotta cut the list to 6, so what do you do?
Well, that was our N64 list. Thanks for checking it out. Loren, expert N64 master over here.
I think you might have me on the N64, but... Either way, like, subscribe, leave comments, do all that stuff.
Check us out next week.